Moving on to topic two. It's we had breaking news throughout the week. Paul Pogba, a big international football star, he got banned for 4 years for doping. Tested positive. Um, do you guys think his career is over
Hell yeah.
after him being banned for 4 years? Do you think he'll come back and play, or do you think he should just hang it up, call it quits? Even though I did hear he is going to try to appeal for it, but I just don't. I don't see it.
So it was actually like weird when I was researching this. So and again, I need you guys' feedback on this because Pogba tested positive for testosterone back in August 20 of 2023, so last year, and then he was provisionally suspended. I don't know if there was a cutoff there, and then it was results of his, I guess the results of his B sample test were returned, and basically that's the B, I don't know the exact word that it's called, but it was just the B sample. It came back to as a drug test. So was that a separate test? If you guys know, was that a separate test that came back? And it was like, that's why most recently we heard of it? Or do you guys think it was kind of hidden back in August of last year? And then we're just finding out about this now because they're, getting that ban. They're trying to get that ban into effect. I don't know if you guys found anything in regards to that. I was just kind of having a little bit of a brain fart whenever it came to that. So I was like, I'm just curious to see what you guys have to say regarding that part.
Go ahead, Lego. Go.
Yeah. So my takeaway is he had a drug test administered back in August or September of 2023, as you mentioned. It was right after they Juventus, his Juventus player, they played Udinese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So right after the match, which again he didn't even play in. He didn't even play. For his luck, he gets drug tested. He fails an anti-doping test. That test that he failed was the sample A. So that A sample, it detected unusual levels of testosterone. But in order for them to, further verify and just make sure, they do a B sample test. The B sample test results didn't come out until like last week. And that's why we're hearing that the B sample test came out and they further confirmed that, there was elevated levels of testosterone more than the human body would produce. If that makes any sense. So
yeah, that makes sense.
So the B sample just confirmed what the A sample had said a few months ago.
And sorry if I missed it, but that B sample, did you know when they did that? Was it like an immediate one after just to make sure? Or, I don't know if you were able to find anything on that.
My takeaway is that the specimen was recovered from him that same match, but it was further analyzed and it just took a little bit longer just to make 100% sure that, these tests indicate that he failed, right?
Right.
So the first test, the sample A, right, or A sample, came out much earlier and said levels of testosterone. But this B sample, it took a little bit longer to analyze, just to be 100% sure before they banned the guy for 4 years.
Okay, yeah, got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, again, do you think, now going back to my question, do you think his career is over? Do you think he'll play again?
If he can't in some way, shape, or form appeal and do it successfully, if he's gonna get banned for 4 years, dude, like he's gonna be 34 by the time he comes back. I can see maybe a career in Saudi Arabia if he wants to go.
For sure.
Maybe he can join, the greats of Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Jordi Alba, and Sergio Busquets here in the MLS. We'll love to see him in the MLS. But I honestly think his career is over just because he's been going through a lot. He's injury prone. It's just, with this whole brother situation as well. I don't know if you guys heard about that. I think his career is done. Yes, he was a phenomenal player in Juventus. He was up and down Man U when he came back. And honestly, when he played with Man U, he'd get random drug tests.
Yeah, I saw that.
There was a couple of videos where, like, I think it was Europa League, where he had an outstanding performance, and then they came up to him, "You got to get drug tested," and he was like, "Really? Again?"
Yeah.
So I think he has had a problem with that, but hey, you got to pay the consequences if you are, taking testosterone. So I think his career is over. I mean, the last game he played was only for 28 minutes. He only had one chance created. Like, he just went downhill. His best chance of winning the Champions League was back in 2015 when they played against a Barca that was literally unstoppable. But yeah, that's just my take on it. It is sad to see a World Cup champion go through all this and, take this. But we'll see. I mean, if he does appeal it, I see him, how you guys say, Saudi Arabia, or he'll even join the MLS. I don't see him playing in Europe no more. I think after this, his career is done in Europe. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I when it comes to his career, like, it's over. I don't think it's going to be over. He's going to be, like Leiko said, he's going to be 34 years old. He's 30 now. So it's like, he has opportunity there, easily. Saudi Arabia, I think that's a great option for him, just because of he's such a like a unique player. He's 6'3", bro. He's got that flair. He's not. I'm not saying he's gonna be like he once was. I don't think he's gonna be like he once was. It's gonna be very difficult. It's damn near impossible, I think, for him to be like he once was. But his career being over, I don't think it's gonna be over. Most probable is probably going to be, going to Saudi Arabia. MLS is an option, but I think he's going to go to Saudi Arabia. A lot of the Frenchmen, they end up going to Saudi Arabia. We saw that with Benzema, Conte.
Yeah.
He could easily join their team. But yeah, dude, it sucks to see, such a great player like that fucking, get a ban like that, and just kind of, it looked like it's been just downhill, for him. And it sucks to see that. You remember seeing highlights from his fucking plays, dude. He was a beast midfielder.
No, he was a shit, man.
Yeah, dude. Like, he reminded me of like a, and again, this is just my take, right? But like a Yaya Toure, like, Yaya Toure was similar build. Toure, of course, was more of a CDM, but Pogba, he's strong. He had that shot. He had the fucking dribbling. His passing wasn't bad. Like, he was a sick player. But the thing is, injuries caught up to him. I think maybe he did, and when he said all, when all this, the media was on him in regards to, how he responded to this, he basically said, he meant no harm, which, it sucks. I think he knew that he wasn't performing, like he once did, and he just wanted that leg up. And I think this was his decision. And it just ended up costing him, 4 years of, potentially 4 years, right? Because he has court, right, and he's planning on appealing that. But yeah, 4 years of his professional career. But I mean, the good side of this is that he has, if he does end up getting that ban, he has 4 years to improve, lock in, get in shape, fucking come back better than ever. Will we see that? It's probable, but I don't think, that's just kind of time will tell at this point.
Yeah. Blake, what are your thoughts about it? If he's going to come back the same?
Yeah, I mean, again, you guys alluded to it. I think he had a declining career already and just made a really bad choice. As far as coming back, I mean, he'll be able to stay in shape, I suppose. I mean, as long as he doesn't completely, like, I don't know, gain a bunch of weight and start drinking a bunch of alcohol. But his options, again, this is assuming he gets banned. I'm talking like he's going to get banned. Will be Saudi Arabia, I think, MLS. And somewhere along the lines, I read that he was kind of saying, like, oh, you know what, I would never try to go again or cheat against my competitors, my team, the fans. All I can say is if this test came back positive and they've done the analysis on it, like, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. And for him to say anything like, I didn't know or something like that, it's like, dude, like you make all this money and you know as an athlete, you can only take certain stuff. And if you have any sort of hesitation, dude, you have doctors, you have medical staff, you have freaking lawyers, you have internet, you have Google. Just Google it. You can find a list of banned substances, right? So there is no sort of excuse. At this point, like, it was detected, he's caught, he can say whatever he wants, but he's guilty as charged, and it's going to be a hefty penalty, 4 years. And in my take is, yes, he could come back. Maybe let's say France opens the door for him, which I doubt they will. But let's say France opens the door
I don't
for
think
him.
so.
Let's say something like that happens, or like let's just say like a really bottom feeder English Premier League says, all right, come on. Unfortunately for Pogba, like, and tell me if I'm wrong, but normally when athletes get something like this on their record, it tarnishes your reputation forever. Like, you know,
it just won't be the same. He won't
be. And nobody's not gonna trust him either.
Yeah, he'll be long gone, and it's gonna be like, oh wait, do you remember he's the guy who got banned for 4 years? Oh wait, that's the guy who took testosterone. You know, oh wait, right? Sorry, but I mean, he took those actions, and he's gonna deserve the consequences.
All right. Any last comments before we move on to our last topic?
Just one thing. Like you were that like fucking sick. Just the way you said it, right? Like players normally they don't come back from things like that, but I like to be a little bit more hopeful and say, hey, dude, what if he does fucking prove everyone else wrong, and it's like, hey, you know what, I fucking and again, like you were talking, speaking of in terms of if he got banned, he gets banned, takes that 4 years, fucking comes back, fucking crazier than ever. Like how sick would that be, right? I just like to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I think Pogba for me, it's that player that, dude, if he could do that, bro, like he's fucking back on the map. But, I just wanted to say that. Sound a little hopeful, just because, dude, like I just grew up watching him, and he's, he was cracked, bro. So, he has that potential. It's just, up to him, I guess.
Yeah. And just to reiterate, or to clarify, talent-wise, I don't think it's an issue for him. And again, as long as he can stay in shape, I don't see it being an issue for him in 4 years from now. It's just, again, that reputation of what you did kind of follows you.
Right. Yeah, well, no, yeah. Again, he has if, say he does get banned for 4 years, he has those 4 years to, train hard and prove how you guys both said, prove everyone wrong and come back stronger and, try to win trophies. That's, that's the mentality of an athlete overall is, come better, get stronger. Yeah, you made your mistake. Well, now serve the mistake and then, get back to where you were at. All right, moving on to our last topic for the podcast. It is Champions League week. I'm super excited because it is the second leg of Champions League. We got 4 games this week. We got Bayern Munich versus Lazio, Real Sociedad versus PSG, Man City versus FC Copenhagen, and Real Madrid versus RB Leipzig. Real Madrid, sorry.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Real Madrid versus Leipzig. So, kicking us off, we got Bayern versus Lazio. Obviously, Bayern's down 1-0. Let me tell you this. This is a must-win for Bayern Munich. Like, it's a must-win. For the reason why, if they say they do lose, Tuchel is out. He's out. He's out of Bayern Munich just because, their last 5 games, they've lost 3, 1-1, and tied 1. So, like, there's something going on in that locker room. Tension. I don't know what it is. You got the best striker one of the best strikers in the world of Harry Kane, who has 27 goals in the Bundesliga. So this is a must-win for Bayern Munich. They're down 0-1. But you just can't underestimate Lazio because Lazio has, Immobile, who's a very good, talented striker, and he will punish you if they counter. He's a potent striker that will punish you. And I kind of see it if Bayern's playing like this. I kind of see it the way how Bayern lost against Villarreal in the semifinal or quarterfinals. I don't know when it was, when they beat them at home 1-0. So I think this is a chance for Bayern to redeem themselves and prove who they are as a team. So I honestly, Bayern needs to step it up. And, I think they do beat Lazio. I think they do pass. But don't underestimate Lazio and the counterattack because I know they're going to be defending for their lives. But obviously, the more you defend, there's a probable chance that they are going to score.
When it comes to Bayern and Lazio, I still think Bayern is easily gonna fucking come back. They've been in these positions plenty of times. They have experienced players. They have players that want to win. Like you said, Bayern Munich, they have to win, or else consequences and shit's gonna happen basically in regards to Bayern. I think that they're gonna come back. I think it's gonna be a 2-1. Bayern Munich is gonna win. But yeah, I think Bayern is gonna come out on top just because. Yeah, they haven't had the best, like, I think, what is it, like 2 games they tied their last game against SC Freiburg, and I mean they have the lineup, bro. They have a lineup to come back. They have everything to come back. I think they're gonna win 2-1. That's just my final take on that.
So you don't think it'll be a blowout?
Will it be a blowout?
Yeah, you don't think it'll be a blowout? It'd be like very, I guess you can say competitive. It won't be.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be bro. Lazio's gonna fight back too, dude.
Okay. No, that's what I'm saying. Lazio's defend for their lives, and just one counter, they can counter. Again, how I said, they have a Mobley who's really good and can finish, and I think.
Hey, but Bayern's got Kane.
Well, yeah, but how many sitters has Kane missed?
No, a lot, right? Yeah,
lot,
I know.
There's a certain situation where it's 1v1, and he just literally, I mean, don't get me wrong, we all do. Especially me on Sunday leagues. When I play, I miss so many sitters or 1v1s. Like, I just, But you got to Kane has to finish. Like, this is a Champions League quarterfinals. He has to finish.
No, I think for sure.
Or 1v1 situations.
They have to lock in. This is the fucking match. They have to lock in. They have to make something out of this. Like, bro, not to put down Lazio or anything, but at the end of the day, Bayern Munich is that team, bro. They're supposed to be that fucking team. They're competitive. They're supposed to be a competitive team, and for them to go down to a team like Lazio, I don't know.
Okay, so there's gonna be consequences.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude, Bayern's gonna come back. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be 2-1. But yeah.
I honestly think it'll be a blowout just because Bayern has been on a really poor form. So I think they're going to come out and say, we are Bayern Munich, and we're going to blow out this team the way they usually blow out other teams. So that's my take.
I think one way or another, Thomas Tuchel, the manager from...
Yeah, Tuchel, you said it right.
Yeah. I mean, either way, I think win or lose, the guy's going to be fired. I don't think the results...
Oh, yeah. At the end of the season, he's done, but...
Yeah. And just kind of recapping, you had mentioned last 5 games, Bayern has only won 1 game. They've won 1 game, they've lost 3, and they've tied 1. So there is definitely some sense of concern, I feel. And if they manage to lose this game or be eliminated, he'll get fired after the game. The Tuchel.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
down. And Lazio is no pushover. Lazio is no pushover. In that first game, Lazio had 11 shots compared to Bayern's 17, but Bayern had 0 shots on target, while Lazio had 4. Possession was relatively close. But let's also remember in that game, though, Bayern did play with 10 players after the 67th minute.
Yeah.
Kind of red card, and then Immobile scores a PK. I do think Bayern will end up winning. I can't see them losing. They're playing at Allianz Arena here or not here, but over in Germany. So, they have everything in their favor. I think they'll win.
Well, Lazio has nothing to lose, right? I mean, obviously they got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Carlos, do you have any input on this first game?
It's gonna be an intense game. I know it's gonna be 2-1. Bayern Munich takes it home.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the next game. Real Sociedad versus PSG. PSG's up 2-0. There's a little concerning with this, even though PSG has a comfortable lead. But in my opinion, 2-0, going up 2-0 is sketchy. A bad, sketchy score.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys seen games. Every time when the team's up 2-0, for example, this past Sunday, Valencia was up 2-0 against Real Madrid. Real Madrid tied it. So, plus,
tied it. Okay.
And there's another 90 minutes. So, I think I personally see, Real Sociedad attacking. Obviously, they have to be attacking. They have to push that defensive line of PSG. You know, so this also is a deciding. I mean, we all know where he's going, but this is also a deciding factor for Mbappe because he's in PSG. And my question is Luis Enrique gonna take out Mbappe early? Because I don't know if you guys seen has been taking
that's
out
gonna happen.
Mbappe.
That's gonna happen.
It's pretty generic. He's been taking him out of like the 60th, between the 60th and 70th minute, right?
Yes, but it's a Champions League. He shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you should not do that. I don't think he will, but we'll see. PSG haven't lost in 20 of their matches, which is pretty impressive. Obviously, looking at it,
the Mbappe effect.
And
Yeah.
And they're playing and the league. So I don't think that league is really competitive. But Real Sociedad has nothing to lose again. This is another team that Real Sociedad has nothing to. Plus, they're playing at home. They're amazing. Obviously, they haven't been in form recently. But 2-0 is a bad score. I think they'll push up. Real Sociedad will push up the line. They'll attack more. All they need is one goal to turn that game around. They get that one goal, the game's going to be a total different game, and they're going to go after it. Obviously, if PSG scores, I think the game will be over regardless. It's 3-0. There's no way you're going to come back. But hey, this is Champions League, and anything can happen in the Champions League. So personally, this is a tough one. But I think I am going to stick with my gut, and I think Real Sociedad is going to shock PSG, and they're going to pass.
Whoa.
Bro, if fucking Real Sociedad wins, Madrid isn't going to get Mbappe, watch. If considering Mbappe plays. I'm being sarcastic, of course. But no, dude, that's like, no, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Danny, bro.
2-0. I know. Yeah, I know I sound crazy or not, but it's Champions League. 2-0 is a bad score when it comes to the football. And watch when it happens. I will definitely make fun of you guys in the next podcast. But that's the way I see it. That's my prediction. It's a bold prediction, but I think Real Sociedad turns it around that game.
Yeah, hopefully you prove us wrong.
The hopeful prediction.
Yeah.
In my opinion, PSG thoroughly dominated them in the first game, beat them 2-0. I think Real Sociedad is just a walk in the park against them. Nothing from that team scares me. I think PSG will go into Real Sociedad and beat them.
But here's the thing.
I'll give you one zip. Maybe
here's the thing. How many times has PSG choked in Champions League? Like, how many times have they choked? It's just PSG is not they're not even the Champions League.
But when's the last time they choked against like a team like Real Sociedad? I think if I'm not wrong, they've played against difficult teams.
No, they choked against a weak United. I believe back in 2018, if I'm right.
Okay, bro, but a weak United is still going to be better than Real Sociedad, I think.
Yeah, obviously, but like you had that game, you had Lukaku as the striker, I believe. Like just PSG is not a Champions League team. They're just not. They're consistent. Obviously, they're playing great teams. Obviously, when PSG had Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, last year or 2 years ago, like you had literally the best player in the world. You had Neymar, who's really talented, and then you have one of the future's best players in the world, and Mbappe, who won the World Cup at 18, which is pretty insane. The fact that you couldn't win the Champions League with those three players, you had Ramos. Obviously, he was a little bit older. You had Hakimi. Like, he's just, like, they're just not it. They're just not a Champions League team. That's why Mbappe needs to get out of it.
And Neymar was hurt, and PSG, too.
First of all, Ramos is not at an age where he sucks. Look what he's doing in Sevilla. He was locking up people, especially. But anyways, anyways.
I'm not saying anything bad. Like, I'm telling you, Ramos was at an age, but he was doing well,
I think the draw definitely benefited PSG this year because they got Real Sociedad, and it's like, bro, like I get where you're coming from, right? But they're up 2-0. It's PSG. Mbappe's gonna play. Like, if he doesn't play, why would they do that? It's stupid. It's not the smart decision. If they're up, if they score and they're up 3-0 or 4 or whatever, okay, I understand. Mbappe's out, whatever. But even then, like, it's still petty from the coach. PSG is going to win. I don't see Real Sociedad coming back. And if they score a goal and it gets down to, 2-1, okay, it's like, all right, bro, what the fuck's happening here? Let's lock it up. Let's park the bus. Let's do something, They're not going to lose again like they always have in the past. And I think a big thing that in the past they've faced these difficult teams. It's been harder teams. Maybe they might have not been in their prime, like in this case, they would have been Manchester United. But like, it's still, dude, it's PSG at the end of the day. Like, Real Sociedad is not. Again, don't want it to sound like I'm talking shit, but like, bro, Real Sociedad is not going to be that team that comes back from a 2-0 and beats PSG. We'll
see. I mean, it's Champions League. Those are magical nights in the Champions League. Look what happened with Barca. Barca was down. This happened in 2017. Barca was down 4-0. Came back and beat PSG.
That was bad. That was really bad.
That was probably one of the craziest games I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And I remember because we were in Hancock's room. So
Hancock is Danny's teacher, by the way, high school. Yes. But you're look, real quick. I just want to get this out. It was Barca versus PSG. It wasn't Real Sociedad, or it wasn't Valencia. It wasn't, that's where I'm coming from. But
fair point.
Go ahead.
Fair point. All right, moving on to the Lego. Do you have anything to say?
No, I'm rolling with PSG in this game.
Carlos,
I'm sticking with PSG 1-0.
1-0. Okay. All right. Next game. Moving on to the Wednesday's games. I believe it's Man City versus Copenhagen. Man City's beating Copenhagen 3-1. I think it's a walk in the park for Man City. Let's be real. I mean, as much as Copenhagen can put up a fight, but Manchester City is getting they're going back into the way Manchester City is Manchester City.
Sorry to cut you off, Danny, but does anyone really think that Copenhagen is going to come back? No, right?
No. I don't even think so.
Hell nah.
Just in the first game, the shots were 27-4. 27-4. Possession was 79-21.
That's like a FIFA game versus me and Danny.
Just
seriously.
There's no way.
Here's the thing. This upcoming Saturday or Sunday, Man City has a big match against Liverpool. So I think Pep is going to rest his stars, because he obviously has a walk in the park. He should win this game. Man City should dominate, even with their young players off the bench. So I think he's going to reserve his stars. Obviously, a few would probably play. But yeah, it's just, again, there's really not much to say about this game because Man City should win. We could be wrong. But I think Man City easily win 2-0 to 3-0. That's the way I see it. A big key player, if he does play, if Pep decides to start him, Phil Foden has been absolutely amazing. Best player in the Premier League. Just so talented and just so shifty, and he just scored a phenomenal goal against Man U, and just I don't know. This kid's good. This kid's good, and he has a future for sure, regardless.
Yeah.
Any more input regarding this game?
Not for me.
All right. Well, last game, we're going to one of the most corrupt teams in this whole entire world.
Corrupt teams in regards to the referees that do these games, or in regards to Madrid being corrupt? Because I have no idea, especially from that 2-2 draw that we just saw. Like, dude, that was stupid. But anyways,
I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. Going to Real Madrid versus RB Leipzig. Speaking, this is kind of off topic, but yeah, they tied. There's controversial in that game, but regardless, Real Madrid needs to step up a little bit. They were shaky in the back, and Tchouaméni is not a center back. Like, I know Real Madrid is testing because you guys are short in center backs, but Tchouaméni, not a center back. You got exposed that game. You really did. So it is a little bit concerning. Real Madrid needs to pick up the pace when the game starts. They need to get Vini going. They need to get Jude Bellingham making those runs. They need to score quickly because Leipzig could punish Real Madrid and we could see a shocker. Obviously, I'm not going to bet against Real Madrid in the Champions League because that is their tournament. Realistically, they've won, 14 Champions League? So I think Real Madrid wins. But if they played the way they played against Valencia, Leipzig can be a shocker.
I mean, as long as if we played the same way as we did, and like I'm telling you, it's the same situation as what occurred in Valencia. and as long as the refs are not, fucking corrupt, then yeah, we would win. But anyways, just to go just strictly on this game, we're gonna win. When it comes to our center back, I don't want to butcher his name, Jomeni, but we have Nacho. Rudiger just came back. We saw him in that Valencia game. So worst case scenario, it's Rudiger and Nacho in the back. But the thing is that with Jomeni is that he's versatile. He can be placed anywhere. We see that. He may not perform like a top tier center back, how we're used to, especially in Real Madrid. We're used to having the best of the best at every position. I still don't think that's going to be a big factor when it comes to this upcoming game with Leipzig. Looking at our lineup, we have a sick lineup. Like, we have the team to beat Leipzig, and we're up. We're up 1-0, so we have that advantage there. We're pretty heated coming off that fucking 2-2 draw with Valencia, so we're getting Real Madrid's going to go out there and do its thing. Like you said, Danny, the team's been there plenty of times. We've got everyone that has experienced the Champions League. We know how to fucking get shit done. We're going to come back this fucking game. We're going to destroy Leipzig, and we're going to but the score, bro, I'm predicting Vinny's going to score another 2 goals. Bellingham is going to score. Maybe Brahim Diaz, throw him in there, and maybe you don't know. It might be a header of Tchouaméni on a corner in the 86th minute. Hopefully he doesn't get counted off. So I'm trying to remember what I just said, but in regards to the score, yeah, like 5-0.
What the fuck?
5-0, baby.
Real Madrid just before Leko, you go and have your take. Real Madrid needs to focus on what they're good at, and that's countering. Countering. They can counter the way they always had and execute it perfectly, they're going to win the match for sure. Because Real Madrid is known for countering. The past years, Real Madrid are known for countering, and when they counter you, it is a scary situation because they will punish you. Another thing, personally, I don't know, some Real Madrid fans are going to get mad at me, this and that, but I don't care. Personally, I would start Brahim Diaz over Rodrigo. That's just my take. That's my opinion. I think Brahim Diaz is a way better player right now than Rodrigo.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Leko?
Josh, turn your audio off, okay? You're not going to want to hear this. I got RB Leipzig 3-0 over Madrid.
Damn.
I was about to say, what?
Nah, sure. There's no way.
No, but here's the thing. I will say this. Real Madrid, I don't think they're playing their best soccer right now. I really don't think they're playing their best soccer. I don't know if it's maybe they're getting too ahead of themselves because they see Mbappe news and they're getting so excited and they're maybe like, are we even going to be here? Am I going to be playing? The forwards, strikers, obviously. I don't know what it is, but they have not been playing Real Madrid soccer. The last 5 games, there are 3 wins, 2 draws. And if we go back to this game against Leipzig actually had 3 times more shots on target than Real Madrid did in the game. So, contrary to Josh, I don't think Leipzig is going to eliminate Real Madrid. I definitely don't think it's going to be 5-0. I could see this even being 0-0. Or Real Madrid close 1-0 victory. I don't like the fact that Real Madrid hasn't been playing well. And I don't like the fact that the last time they played, it was such a close game. I mean, shots 15 for Real Madrid, 14 from Leipzig. Shots on target, Real Madrid had 3, Leipzig had 9. Possession was 50-50, literally right down the line. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a walk in the park. They are playing Real Madrid. They're playing Bernabeu. That should help them. But I can't see Leipzig going in there and getting blown out of there. I think it's going to be a close game. If you ask me, it's 0-0. Real Madrid still advances. They're not playing good soccer right now. I don't know what it is. I'd like to think it's because they're too focused on Mbappe.
I think, sorry to cut you off, I think their problems right now is they need center backs because they're missing center backs right now, and they need a true striker. Like, they have no one to shield the ball or just like they just don't have a striker to create, because the striker usually they'll check in or they'll create space, and they don't have that. They just really don't. They have Vinny, who's speed, Rodrigo, who's speed, Raheem Diaz, Jose Lu, which, come on. Realistically, yeah, he puts the ball up behind the net when it comes to headers or, free kicks. But
it's not a Benzema,
it's not a Benzema, who's like always in the box, or like making runs or just creating space for Vinny and Rodrigo. So I think those are a few problems. The Mbappe situation can be a factor as well, but I just think tactical wise, playing football is they need a center back. Obviously, they're injured. They have Militao and Alaba done for the season. Or I think one of them was going to come back in April, but I think the defensive line in Madrid is shaky, and then obviously they're forward. I will say this: Leipzig, if they want to shock the world, they need Xavi Simons to have the best game, and not just him, Olmo as well. If those two players can get going, they could shock Madrid. So I'm not counting out Leipzig out. That's how you said 0-0, or even Real Madrid winning 1-0. But don't count out Leipzig out. It's going to be a great, intense game. But obviously, I still think Madrid's going to beat them, or Madrid is going to pass to the next round.
See, when Leiko, when you were talking about your take on the Madrid and the Leipzig game, I respect it. It's a fair take. You're right. Looking at the stats, realistically it'll be a close game, right? I don't disagree with you on that. The thing is, you said, which is Real Madrid isn't playing their best right now. Realistically, we don't have that. We don't have our best lineup. We have injured players. We have Eder Militao injured. We have Alaba injured. Even our keeper's injured, Courtois. So defensively, we're not there. Offensively, we're there, but we are missing that piece, and it's pretty obvious. We're not playing our best football. We're still sitting top of the league. We're close in regards to the Champions League, considering, we win this next game. So and this is, this might be a little bit irrelevant, but I just can't stop thinking about, when Mbappe does come in or when these players recover, right? Like, how are we going to be, dude? Like, it's going to be, I just can't stop thinking about that, because we're playing bad right now and we're still, putting up numbers. We're still in a situation where we're like, okay, we're not doing too bad. Yeah, we're not playing the best we can play, but we're not playing too bad. Like, imagine, in the next few months or in the next season, when we get those missing pieces, like how we're going to be and how big of an impact Real Madrid's, like how big of that comeback is going to be for Madrid, But yeah, as far as that, the Leipzig game, realistically, you know what? No, I'm still going to say 5-0.
This guy.
Fuck it. I'm saying 5-0. But yeah, you get what I'm trying to say, right? So, I'll be quiet now.
Carlos, your take.
It's what Lego said. I think it's like a distraction. Let's get the season over with. I don't know if they're just playing bad because they want the Champions League to be like done, so they can be like, you know what? Let's just focus on Leguia and Mbappe. That's what I think. Because all the years I've been watching them play, to me, they're not the same.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
You should take a look at Barca.
Okay.
I know. We're going to get to that Barca. We'll get into it next week. Hater.
Yeah, facts, dude. Fuck off.
All right, Leiko, take it away with the Pocho's picks.
All right, well, if no one has anything else to add on the Real Madrid and Leipzig game, we'll go ahead and move forward to Pocho's picks. This week for Pocho's picks, we thought it was only right to do Champions League. So again, the 4 games that we play this week, on Tuesday it's going to be Bayern, Lazio, and then Real Sociedad versus PSG, and then on Wednesday it'll be Real Madrid versus RB Leipzig and Man City versus Copenhagen. So since this week's Pocho's picks are in Champions League, I'll go ahead and lead it off. I'm going to say my Pocho pick for this week is going to be Man City in the Manchester City versus Copenhagen game, which is going to be played on Wednesday, March 6th. Again, there's the second leg. Man City is up 3-1. They're going to be playing at Etihad Stadium in England. Man City is an absolute tear. Danny alluded to it earlier with Phil Foden, with Holland, with Rodri. I mean, this team is just playing out of their minds right now. With a KDB back, this team is for real. Their last loss actually was December 6th. They haven't lost since almost 3 months against Aston Villa. They've gone 19 games without a loss. Like literally, they've won 17 games in a row. Not in a row, excuse me, but they've won 17 games and they've tied 2 in the last 19 matches. Whereas Copenhagen has won 3 and lost 3 in their last 6 matches. I can't really see any team stopping them right now the way they're playing. I mean, just take for example today, Man U against Man U game, they go down 1-0. Rashford, really good goal, 8th minute, and they just kept attacking them, dude. Like the way they play, the way they're coached. This team is the real deal. Like I saw the game and they just kept like coming against Man U. Like Man U was literally parking the bus after they scored that first goal. Like that was it. Man City just kept coming. They ended up winning the game 3-1 after going down 1-0. So my Pocho pick for this week is going to be Manchester City beating Copenhagen at the Etihad. I don't think there's any sort of potential issues for them. It'll be a walk in the park. The only thing maybe could affect them is, as Danny mentioned earlier, they do play Liverpool over the weekend, so there could be some resting of starters. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with Man City. The team is really, really strong right now.
Do you have a score?
Score 3-0 win, Man City.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, Danny, go ahead.
My Pocho's pick for this week will be on March 5th, Tuesday, in the Allianz Arena in Germany. Lazio versus Bayern Munich. Again, we talked about it earlier. This is a must-win for Bayern Munich. Like, it's a must-win. You know, their form is poorly. You have stars. You have Harry Kane. You have Sané. You know, you have Musiala, who's a young player who's like balling out, similar to, you know, Phil Foden style of play. So again, it's a must win for Bayern Munich. Not gonna you know, underestimate Lazio, but I think Bayern Munich will pull this win and, you know, advance to the next round. And I have Bayern Munich winning 3-0. Josh, sorry.
So my pick is gonna go to Real Madrid in regards to, you know, the Real Madrid game that they're playing on. And I'll give you the date. It's gonna be Wednesday, March 6th, against RB Leipzig. It's gonna, you know, obviously Madrid is up 1-0. They're gonna score another 4. So yeah, Madrid's gonna take it. They're gonna win, and we're gonna savor that victory, especially after that, you know, coming off that Valencia draw. But yeah,
Carlos,
I'm gonna take PSG for this from my pick. Hopefully they don't fuck me over like the Clippers did. And yeah, damn. I think they'll take it. Like, it's 2-0. Like, I'm pretty sure if they score another one, they'll take out Mbappe to realize, like, you know what, Mbappe's not gonna be here no more. Let's just take him out. You know what I mean, guys? So PSG's gonna take it. Hopefully they don't fucking choke like the fucking Clippers did, and we'll go from there.
Oh yeah, I mean, they have to get used to playing without Mbappe, but yeah. By the way, guys, you can catch these games 12 p.m. Pacific time throughout this week, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Bronny's gonna come in and drop a 40 bomb mid-game on PSG. I can already see it.
All right, guys. Well, is there anything else you want to add for the Pocho's picks of the week?
No. All I have to say that the referees are the fuck over Real Madrid. So can't wait to happen. Cool. Being biased, I want our RB Leipzig to win, but that ain't gonna happen.
Okay, everyone. Well, on behalf of Danny, Josh, Carlos, and myself, we'd like to thank you again for hanging in there and tuning in for our second episode of Pocho Sports Podcast. Again, our ambition is to provide you all up-to-date and original sports content, and we encourage any feedback or any interactions. Please catch us next week on Monday for our next episode of Pocho Sports. Pocho's out.